Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos on fashion, lifestyle, beauty, and mindset. Anyways, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be talking about the mindset you should aim to have if you are single. I've been seeing so many TikToks about how to get a guy's attention, how to get a guy to chase you, signs that a guy doesn't really like you, and it's just all of these things pertaining to dating and what the woman should and shouldn't do to get the guy. I'm not gonna lie, I am sick and tired of seeing this kind of content because I have truly realized that it's all about bringing the focus back to yourself, whether you want to attract someone, whether you don't want to attract someone, whether you want better opportunities in your life. It literally does not matter. I am actually about to be 27 and I come from an Indian household. So there is a lot of pressure on me to find a guy and get married and settle down really soon, which, it doesn't seem like that's going to be happening for me anytime soon, and I'm absolutely okay with that. But trust me when I tell you guys, I do understand the societal pressure of finding someone and getting married and what have you not. I understand how hard it can be to just detach from whatever outcome and put the focus back onto yourself. I'm just done with treating guys like they're the prize. It's like the only way that I'm really gonna be fulfilled in life is if I'm married or have a boyfriend or whatever. That is just simply not the case. Also, I totally forgot to mention to go ahead and grab a beverage of your choice while you're watching this video. I have my Earl Grey tea right here. Okay, that's so good. Also, the weather change is just making my nose really stuffy and congested. Excuse me if I'm sniffling my nose throughout this video. I personally have been in several relationships. I've been in situationships. I've been in failed talking stages. I've done the whole thing. And I'm now truly realizing the importance of choosing myself over male validation. I actually went ahead and completely deleted all of my dating profiles. I used to just delete the apps and then I would re-download them a few days later, but this time I was like, nah, we're just completely getting rid of the profiles altogether, and that is exactly what I did. It has been about 5 days since I've been off of them, but I damn well know that I do not have the energy to create brand new profiles for these dating apps, so I'm going to be staying off of them for a while. I just feel so burned out from them, and this year I'm genuinely trying to decenter men from my life. Trust me, this process is so much easier if you simply choose to spend time on the things that you love doing. So I actually used to be on a Bollywood fusion dance team in college, and I used to love dancing all the time, but over the past few years I just stopped because I got in my own head, or I would just make excuses. Literally at the start of this year I was like, I'm getting right back into dance, and I've already taken a dance class. I'm taking my second dance class tomorrow, and I also managed to learn a piece of choreo that I've been wanting to learn for a while. Pursuing dance again made me realize just how much joy I found in that craft, and it made me fall in love with myself more. Like, I was just so beyond proud of myself for going after it again, because for so long I was so in my head that I wasn't a good enough dancer, that I couldn't do certain moves, that I couldn't learn certain types of choreography. But by putting myself back in those situations where I'm literally forced to learn the choreo on the spot, it made me realize just how fast I can still pick it up and how I've still got it. And yeah, I was just super happy with myself overall. But that is essentially how you are going to redirect the power back to yourself. Pick a few things that you genuinely like doing or that you used to love doing as a kid. Get right back onto that. You will naturally appreciate yourself 10 times more than you already do. And it's honestly so fun to relearn a new skill and to invest your time in doing something that you genuinely love. And it's so refreshing to relearn a new skill or learn a new skill altogether, or just investing time in hobbies or activities that your mind is fully focused in. It makes you realize that there's so much more out there outside of work, your friends, finding a guy, or whatever the case may be. There's truly so much to do. So if you catch yourself being pressed over a guy or seeking male validation, go do a hobby or something. Now, I've talked enough about the importance of investing your time into hobbies or just things that you love doing, which brings me to my next point. Invest in your looks, okay? Because the more that you look good, the more that you feel good. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there have been a lot of times where I felt like the guy that I'm talking to has genuinely fumbled me or has wronged me in some way. And naturally, the first thought that comes up in my head is, where the hell did I go wrong? Do I not look good enough? Am I not fit enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not blah 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 enough? Like, there's just all these things that are running in my head. But then I take a step back, I look at my Instagram pictures, or I'll look at myself in the mirror, you know, usually like with my makeup on or whatever, and I'll be like, yo, like, I look so good. He really fumbled me. Like, he really fumbled a whole ass baddie. I also do know that I have a ton of good qualities about myself that he also fumbled, right? It's not just about my looks. But when you look good, I feel like it's so much easier to look at yourself and be like, there are so many other options out there. There's so many people that find me attractive. I'm not just gonna fixate on this one guy that did me wrong. When you do look good and when you feel good about yourself, the aura that you end up having is unmatched. And that aura will naturally attract guys in, opportunities in, friendships in, whatever the case may be. Invest in your looks. I'm not saying to wear a shit ton of makeup every single day, but even if you are going to the grocery store, just put on a cute little set, throw on a little bit of makeup. It doesn't have to be perfect, but invest some time in feeling good about your appearance. Gua sha if you want your face to look snatched. Find makeup products that really suit your skin. There's so many beauty videos and makeup videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. There's just so many resources out there for you to figure out what works best for your body type, your skin color, all of that kind of stuff. Anytime you feel like you want to change something about your looks, you can take to Pinterest and create a whole new mood board. It's just too easy at this point. There are so many ways to up level your looks. And if you already feel like you look good, maybe, you know, you're constantly working out at the gym, you have a snatched body, then just find small ways to change things up. I know for me, there are definitely days at the gym where I just don't care and I literally look like Adam Sandler, which there's nothing wrong with, but there are definitely times where I wish I was wearing a cute workout set so that every time I would look in the mirror, I would notice how amazing my body looks. I guess that basically leads me to my next point, which is to romanticize your life. You don't have a guy in your life that's buying you flowers, get yourself the damn flowers. You can literally go to Aldi or Trader Joe's and buy flowers for $5. I literally did it for myself the other day. These are $5 from Aldi. I just picked them up while I was doing my groceries. I just feel like it is an act of love to be able to purchase flowers for myself. And every time I'm in bed and I look over to my nightstand, I see pretty roses, and it just makes my day that much better. So yeah, do small things for yourself that make you happy. Again, romanticizing your life does not mean that you have to spend loads of money on fancy dinners and fancy gifts. It could literally just look like you taking yourself out to a nice cafe once a week, getting some work done there, and buying yourself fancy coffee there. Like, it really does not have to be super deep. It could also look like just making your coffee out of a really fancy cup and frothing the milk or frothing the creamer and just making that coffee look super presentable. Same thing with cooking food for yourself. Put it in a nice plate, make it look presentable, and just do small things like that for yourself where you're really putting in the extra effort. Because let's be so honest, if you want your dream guy to do the most for you, then why the hell are you not doing that for yourself? If you want princess treatment, then you better start giving yourself princess treatment. I know this sounds weird to say, but almost view it as if you are in a relationship with yourself. Are you going to let yourself be miserable and not talk about your feelings? Or are you going to actually pull out your journal and give yourself the time of day to process the emotions that you're feeling? If you've been having a god-awful week, are you just going to allow yourself to bed rot? Or are you gonna get out of bed and go to the gym and do something nice for yourself? Essentially, you need to start showing up for yourself the way that you want your future partner to show up for you. When you do enter a relationship, chances are your free time is going to decrease. The time that you give to yourself, the experiences that you want to experience, all of these things will be slightly limited because you have someone else in the picture. Instead of constantly waiting for the right guy to show up and then deciding that your life is going to be that much better and that you're finally going to be happier when the right guy shows up for you, you need to start living your life to the fullest today. Because I guarantee you, once you do get into that relationship, you will not create nearly as much time for yourself as you are able to right now. So stop wasting that time. Being alone is 10 times better than being in the wrong relationship. Trust me, I have been there, and I have been in relationships where I have felt even more alone, isolated, and depressed in those relationships versus me being single, like fully single. And you might think, damn, I'm getting so much older. I'm pushing 30. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 40s. It doesn't matter what age you're in. When you do find the right person for you, you are going to be hopefully spending the rest of your life with that person. So why does it really matter when you end up finding them? When you start to raise your own standards while you're single, and when you start having so much self-love and self-respect, I promise you, you will see the red flags from a mile away. And even if you don't, and then you start catching on later, you will be so much quicker to just fully remove yourself from the situation. Will you still get hurt in the process at times? Yeah, of course you will. We're all human. But I guarantee you, you're not gonna find yourself lingering around for much longer if they ghost you or disrespect you or just hurt you in any way, shape, or form. Even if they say all of these nice things in the beginning, even if the dates go so well, even if they're your type, it does not matter, because at the end of the day, you will understand that their actions speak louder than words. And I feel like as women, we allow these men to get away with literally anything and everything simply because we want someone and we crave that male validation and we just need attention. And we think to ourselves that at least I'm getting something out of this as opposed to just being fully alone. That is completely false. That is completely far from the truth. No, you are gaining so much more by being single than by being with someone who really does not care about you all that much. I promise you, you will be fine without any man in your life. You will be absolutely fine. You do not need to lower your standards to be in a situationship with someone who just comes back and forth whenever, so that you simply feel like you at least have someone in your life. Honestly, you end up looking like a freaking clown. Trust me, I've been there, I get it. But over time, I started to realize that even if I am in a situationship with someone where I like have that mindset that, oh, this is nothing serious or whatever, I'm not even expecting anything super serious, just so I can have someone for the time being until I find my person. What's actually happening is that I am still giving away my energy and my time to someone who really does not care that much about me. Like, let that sink in. I can't believe I actually used to think that way. I was like, you know what? I'm going to engage in all these talking stages and situationships until something better comes along, until a more serious guy comes along. Well, guess what? You are still wasting your time on those situationships and the dating apps and the talking stages and whatever it is. If you could just take back all of that energy, put it on yourself, and invest in yourself, your life will be 10 times better. And guess what? If you actually choose to reclaim your power and focus on yourself, you just might be that much closer to attracting your dream partner. I have had this mentality in the past where I've been like, I need to be super active on these dating apps. I need to match with as many guys as possible. I need to talk to as many guys as possible from these apps so that out of the 10, 15 matches I have, something will stick with one person. And it is genuinely not a quantity game. That is something I realized. Because in that process, you are stretching yourself so thin. It's just guy after guy after guy. Your energy becomes depleted and you actually make it that much harder to find the right person for you. I'm not saying that all dating apps are trash. You should just not be on them. You should talk to no guys. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is stop wasting your time with people where you know that it's not going to go anywhere or the chances of it going anywhere are slim. I think that when you start focusing on yourself and you actually do the things that you like and you go to the places that you really want to go to, you are more likely to attract someone in an organic manner. Now, I see why I used to think like that, because let's be honest, the more people you talk to, the more chances there are of you finding the right person. I feel like that is the advice that we're generally used to hearing. But if you do end up stretching yourself too thin too fast, then what's the point of even trying to be in all of these talking stages when you're not even giving it your all? Again, I'm not saying to just delete all the dating apps and to never talk to guys again and that your prince will magically show up at your front door. That is not what I'm saying. Obviously, you do have to talk to guys, whether that's through dating apps or whether that's at public spaces. Whatever the case may be, you obviously have to expose yourself somehow to find the right person for you. But all I'm trying to say is let it all happen more naturally, right? Like, don't be so pressed to talk to all these guys all at once. Take your time with everything. Let it all happen naturally. Honestly, the whole point of this video is to simply shift your mindset while you're single. It's not to just fully cut everyone and everything off and be so selfish that you only think about yourself. That's really not what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is to call the power back on yourself and to let things happen very organically without feeding into the societal pressure or without feeding into the loneliness. Another really important thing I wanted to touch on is that there is someone out there for you. I don't know about you guys, but all I've been seeing on social media or just hearing my friends talking about is how terrible guys are these days, how our generation is cooked when it comes to dating. And while I truly do believe in a lot of these things, and while I have also experienced these things with guys, I feel like if all I think about is all men are trash and men are ruthless and they're blah 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 and they're this and that and they hate women, if that's all I fill my mind up with, then how the hell do I expect myself to trust anyone? How do I expect myself to find my partner? And ladies, I obviously advise you to proceed with caution with any guy that you are seeing. It is true that you never know what their intentions actually are and how safe they actually are. Like, obviously I'm not saying to blindly trust anyone, but what I am saying is to simply observe and move accordingly. Don't be so fixated that this guy's gonna wrong you or that this guy's super perfect for you based off of what he says. Don't make it so black and white. I recently had an experience with this guy where we genuinely were just talking about our goals, dreams, values, lifestyle, religion, spirituality, and everything seemed to match up to the T. And I was just so fascinated by him. I was just like, wow, this could go really well, blah, blah, blah. I was so excited, over the moon, telling my friends about it. And a few days later, not too long after actually, his actions said otherwise. Pretty much I was just basing everything off of simply what he was saying. There was not enough time for me to really evaluate his actions. And by the time I saw what his actions were, I realized that I just put way too much emphasis on his words. So yeah, it is very important to focus on a man's actions, but the only way you are going to be able to do that is if you just sit back and observe and have an open mind. Don't go into anything assuming anything. Don't base anything off of their looks, their aesthetic, their words, their friends, whatever it is. Just simply observe, clock everything, and then make a proper decision moving forward. But like I said earlier, the only way you're going to be able to do this is if you're just able to observe and be detached. And how are you going to be detached? You are going to be detached if you place the power on yourself. If you have so much self-worth that you know that if anything goes wrong with this person, it is not the end of the world. It is not your fault. It is not anything you said. It is not the way you look. It has nothing to do with you. Whatever happens speaks volumes about that person and their actions. This brings me to my last point. In relationships, even if the guy is head over heels for a girl, they will still prioritize themselves and their needs because that is what they're used to. That is what has been normalized in society pretty much for all of their lives. Now with women, we have always been taught to place everyone else's needs above ours. But it is now time that we start to place our own needs first. And I guarantee you, you already have to get used to doing that when you're single, because when you do enter a relationship, you still should continue behaving like that. Guys just don't operate the same way that we do. So if they experience a girl who's literally a 10 in all aspects, giving their all to them, they're gonna start having a very inflated sense of ego. They're gonna be like, wow, I bagged this girl. She is literally a perfect 10 and she's doing so much for me. I just must be that great. I could probably pull all these other girls that are even better looking than her. If she can do all this for me, then imagine how many other women can also do the same for me. It's unfortunate that most of them think that way. I'm not saying all of them think that way, but a lot of them do think this way. And when you show them that you prioritize yourself and you do things that make you feel good and you do things that are overall better for yourself, they will respect that 10 times more than if you were to just drop everything and do everything for them. So in conclusion, reclaim your power, get used to doing things for yourself, really do things that fulfill your soul, pour all of that love and energy into yourself. You will be golden. Enjoy your single era, okay? Enjoy it to the fullest because this time will not come back. Stay happy, single, and thriving, and I promise you guys, you will attract the best opportunities, best partner, best relationships of your life. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more content like this. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.